All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking into something that I think a lot of you have probably heard about, at least in passing. The law of attraction. Um, it seems like it's been, I don't know, everywhere lately. And this idea that our thoughts can somehow shape our reality, well, it's a pretty intriguing one, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not exactly new either. I mean, you can trace these ideas back centuries across different cultures and philosophies, but it's really interesting to see how it's kind of captured the modern imagination. People
Mm.
looking for ways to understand and maybe, I don't know, take control of their lives a bit more.
Yeah, I get that. So basically, the law of attraction is saying that like attracts like.
Right.
Our thoughts, feelings, even our beliefs, they all emit some sort of energy. And that energy draws in similar experiences, people, opportunities, things that vibe on the same wavelength, so to speak.
Yeah, think of it like well, not so much a mystical force, but more like a principle, right? Like a principle of resonance. So whatever you're consistently focusing on, well, you're kind of tuning yourself to that frequency. And the more you tune in, the more you're going to pick up on those signals in the world around you.
I like that analogy. So, like, if I'm constantly dwelling on what could go wrong, I'm basically just turning up the volume on all the negative stuff,
Yeah,
making myself more likely to actually experience it.
exactly. It's like, have you ever noticed how when you buy a new car, you suddenly start seeing that same model everywhere?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Right. And it's not that there are suddenly more of those cars on the road. It's that your mind is now attuned to them. It's the same principle. But instead of a car, it's your thoughts and feelings shaping your reality.
Okay, so that makes sense. But how does this attraction actually, work? What's the mechanism? I mean, people throw around terms like vibrations and energy, but
Right. So a lot of times it's broken down into a few stages. The first is the idea that every thought, every feeling generates energy, sends out a particular vibration.
okay. So I'm constantly broadcasting something, even if I'm
Uh,
not aware of it.
Exactly. And that broadcast is shaping your mental and emotional landscape, which, it affects your actions, your choices, how you show up in the world. It's all connected.
Right. So
Mhm.
then this energy, these vibrations, attract similar ones, right? That's the whole like attracts like part of the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Positive thoughts attracting positive outcomes, negative thoughts,
Yeah.
well, bringing more negativity.
Exactly. It's not just about wishful thinking. It's about really cultivating this consistent internal environment, one that's aligned with what you want to experience. Your thoughts and feelings, they become a kind of filter. And that filter shapes what you notice, what you interpret, what you even allow into your reality.
So it's not enough to just sit around thinking happy thoughts all day. There's more to it than that, right?
Right. There's another crucial piece that often gets missed, and that's inspired action. It's not enough to just visualize $1 million and expect it to magically appear in your bank account.
Got to do something.
You got to take action, but it's got to be aligned action. Action that feels good, that feels intuitively right, that's in harmony with those goals you're visualizing. That's what really accelerates the whole manifestation process.
It's like setting the intention and then taking the steps to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like the universe might open the door, but you got to walk through it.
Exactly. It's about, preparing the soil, planting the seeds, and then tending to them. The fertile ground is your positive mindset, and inspired action, that's what helps those seeds grow.
I love that. Okay, so understanding that interplay, right?
Mhm.
Thoughts, feelings, actions. That's the foundation. But I think a lot of people listening have probably wondered, okay, that's great in theory, but how do I actually use this in my own life? Where do you even begin?
So there are some common steps that people talk about when it comes to, putting the law of attraction into practice. The first one, and it's so important, is getting crystal clear on what you actually want.
Yeah, that makes sense. You can't hit a target you can't see. Wow.
Exactly. If you're not clear, your energy is scattered. It's like trying to, I don't know, travel to a new city without a map. You're just going to end up lost.
So take some time, really figure out what it is you want to bring into your experience. A new job, a better relationship, more money. The more specific you can get, the better.
And write it down. That really helps to solidify your intention. Plus, you can always refer back to it, keep yourself on track.
Okay, so you've got your goal. What's next?
Next comes the visualization. Spend a few minutes every day really picturing your desired outcome, like it's happening right now in vivid detail.
Okay, so I'm not just thinking about it. I'm really feeling it too, like I'm already there.
Yes. And those feelings are key. The joy, the gratitude, the excitement, that emotional energy is powerful. You're not just creating a mental picture, You're embodying the feeling of already having it. That's what sends out the strongest signal.
And I'm starting to get this. So clarity, visualization, what else?
Okay, this one's a big one. Gratitude.
Ah, yes, gratitude. Always a good thing. But how does it fit into the law of attraction?
Gratitude is like this amplifier of positive energy. When you focus on what you're already thankful for, you shift your focus away from what you lack, what you're missing. And that makes you more receptive to receiving more good things.
So it's not just about feeling good in the moment, it's actually attracting more abundance.
Exactly. You're sending out the signal that says, hey, universe, I appreciate the good stuff. And the more you appreciate, the more you receive. A simple practice, just write down 3 things you're grateful for every day. It can really shift your whole perspective.
Okay, that's doable. I can do that. So we've got clarity, visualization, gratitude. Anything else we need to be mindful of?
Well, there's something else that's super important, but a little bit trickier to tackle. And that's those limiting beliefs we all carry around. The negative thoughts that kind of sabotage our efforts.
Oh yeah, those. Things like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be able to achieve that. We all have them, right?
Right. And they can be sneaky, operating on the subconscious level, undermining all your hard work. They often come from, past experiences, things people have told us, societal conditioning.
So how do we deal with those?
First, you got to become aware of them. Pay attention to the stories you're telling yourself. Once you see them, you can start to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this really true? And then replace those negative thoughts with positive affirmations, statements that affirm your worthiness, your capability, your potential.
Like, I am capable of achieving my dreams, or I deserve success. Something like that.
Exactly. It takes effort. It's about consciously choosing to focus on thoughts that support your goals. It's like retraining your mind.
Right. So we've talked about getting clear on what we want, visualizing it, practicing gratitude, and dealing with those pesky limiting beliefs. What's the final piece of the puzzle?
Well, as we touched on earlier, it's the action. Taking those inspired steps that align with your vision.
It's not enough to just think it. You got to do it.
Right. But it's not about forcing things or, hustling yourself into burnout. It's about paying attention to the opportunities that come up, those little nudges from the universe, and acting on them.
So it's about being open to possibilities and then being willing to take the leap when it feels right.
Exactly. It's like those thoughts and feelings, they create the fertile ground. And then inspired action, well, that's what brings those seeds to life. It's a partnership, really, between your internal world and the external world.
I love how you put that. It's all starting to come together now. But, it always helps to hear a real-world example. Can you think of someone who's actually used these principles to achieve something significant?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are countless stories out there, but one that comes to mind is about a woman named Sarah. She always wanted to start her own online business, but, fear, doubt, all that stuff was holding her back. So she decided to try applying the law of attraction.
Okay, so what did she do?
Well, first, she got really clear on her vision. She wanted a thriving online store specializing in, I think it was sustainable, ethically sourced goods. She could really see it in her mind. Then she started visualizing every single day. She would spend a few minutes just picturing her store being successful, happy customers buying her products, positive reviews pouring in. She really tried to feel those emotions of joy and accomplishment.
So she was getting ahead of herself,
Yeah,
emotionally speaking, living that success in her mind before it actually happened.
exactly. And she also made a point of practicing gratitude every day. She focused on all the good things she already had, the skills she was developing, the progress she was making. It helped her stay positive, even when things got tough.
I bet. Starting a business is no joke. There are always challenges, setbacks.
Absolutely. But like many of us, Sarah also struggled with those limiting beliefs. The fear of failure. But she made a conscious effort to identify those thoughts and challenge them. She would remind herself of her passion, her knowledge, her dedication. She replaced the negativity with affirmations, telling herself things like, I am resourceful. My business is going to thrive.
It's so important to catch yourself when those negative thoughts creep in. They can be so insidious.
Absolutely. It's about retraining your mind to focus on what you want, not what you fear.
So she got clear on her vision, visualized, practiced gratitude, worked on those limiting beliefs. What about the action part?
Right. So Sarah didn't just sit around thinking about it. She actually took action. She started researching, she put together a business plan, found suppliers, built her website, all the things that go into launching a business. And you know what? Her store is doing incredibly well now. She really attributes a lot of her success to the law of attraction. She says it helped her stay focused, stay motivated, and recognize the right opportunities when they came along.
Wow, that's inspiring. It really shows that this stuff can work if you apply it consistently. So for those listening who want to give this a try, are there any resources you recommend? Like where can people go to learn more or get some extra support?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There are tons of books, apps, all sorts of things out there. If you're into reading, I always recommend The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It's kind of a
Hmm.
classic introduction to the law of attraction.
I've heard of that one. It's been super popular.
It is. And there's also You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. It's got a more, I don't know, a more humorous take on attracting abundance, especially if you're, working on those money blocks.
I love that. What about apps?
Oh, there are some great ones. For gratitude journaling, there's one simply called Gratitude. It can help you make it a daily habit. And if you're more visual, try Vision Board. It lets you create these digital collages of all the things you want to manifest.
Oh, that's cool. And even if you don't have a lot of time, you can still incorporate some of these practices into your daily life.
Hmm. Absolutely. Even just 5 minutes every morning can make a difference. Visualize your goals. Write down a few things you're grateful for. It's like setting the tone for a more positive and intentional day.
Love that. Little things can make a big difference. All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I just want to reiterate that, the law of attraction, it's a powerful concept, and whether you fully buy into it or not, it offers a really interesting perspective on how our thoughts and feelings shape our reality.
Yeah, it really encourages us to take responsibility for our own experience. It's not about blaming the universe or waiting for things to just happen to us. It's about recognizing that we have the power to create the life we want.
So, to all our listeners out there, try it out. Play around with these ideas. See what happens. Get clear on your vision, visualize it, practice gratitude, work on those limiting beliefs, and take action.
Mm.
What have you got to lose?
Exactly. It's an ongoing journey, a
Yeah.
process of self-discovery and creation.
And on that note, here's a final thought for you to consider as you go about your week. What is one specific area of your life you'd like to focus on manifesting? What's one intention you can set for yourself in the coming days? Think about it, put it out there, and see what unfolds. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.